There's a streak of panic running through the left in California. Why? Because our friend Larry Elder, Larry has had a Salem radio show for a long time. He's a marvelous pundit, a very clear thinker, African American, and he is running neck and neck, in fact, slightly ahead of Gavin Newsom. So coming out of nowhere, Larry announced for the governor's race just, it seems like days ago, and he has surged and he's proving to be a serious candidate. So needless to say, a ferocious attack has opened up against him. And my favorite from the LA Times, it says, Larry Elder is the black face of white supremacy. Wow. I mean, first of all, talk about a super racist thing to say. The basic assumption here is that he's the black face. It's not even like he is a black man. It's not even conceding Larry Elder's humanity, let alone his ability to think for himself, his ability to have his own views. He's the black face of white supremacy. Now, here you're talking about a guy, by the way, who was born in Compton, grew up in South Central LA, sort of the wrong side of the track, somebody who would be, if elected, the first black governor of California. But this, which should be exhilarating to the left, they're always looking for the first black this and the first black that, but no, they don't mean the first black conservative governor of California. They've got to stop that. And so this vicious attack, the article, by the way, is by one of the Black Lives Matter Los Angeles co-founders, Melina Abdullah. And she says the idea here is that Larry Elder is some kind of an Uncle Tom, and he's even compared by the left to David Duke. David Duke, the white supremacist, one of the former heads of the Ku Klux Klan. Now, what is it about Larry that is causing these accusations? It turns out, and now I'm going to quote an LA Times columnist, a guy named woman named Jean Garrow. She goes, quote, he has repeatedly twisted crime statistics to portray blacks as more violent than whites. Twisted crime statistics. Well, as it turns out, let's look at the crime statistics. These are coming from Larry Elder, but they're lifted directly from FBI data. Quote, while only 13% of the population, blacks account for 28% of nationwide arrests, and 38.1% of arrests for violent crime, murders, rape, robbery, aggravated assault. So Larry Elder is doing nothing more here than sharing government-issued data. But apparently the truth is somehow racist. Larry Elder's main theme, if you've been listening to his show and reading his articles, is simply this, that by and large, if you grow up with two parents, if you're raised in an intact family, if you have a mom and a dad, you are less likely to end up poor. You're less likely to end up in prison. So the idea here is that the black community is facing, as indeed some parts of the white community are, a crisis of the family. And that is the root cause. That, not racism, not police discrimination, not police brutality, is the root cause of the problems that are faced in the black community. So here's Larry as a black man talking about the interests of the black community, disputing the leftist interpretation of what the problem is and disputing the leftist interpretation of what the solutions are. And for this sin, the sin of being a dissenter, a renegade, the left can't even comprehend that there can be disagreement with their point of view. It's a very interesting tweet that was put out by Nicole Hannah-Jones not long ago. She deleted it quickly, but what she says in the tweet is she says there's a difference between being racially black and being politically black. Now think about that. What she's saying really is that blackness is not a function of race, not a function of color, not even a function of appearance. Black is a function of politics. Well, if black is a function of politics, then I guess it could follow that you could be a white person and still be black, because you may be racially white but politically black. So suddenly this term is divorced from all obvious meaning, and it's done so for what purpose? Well, what Nicole Hannah-Jones wants to do is enforce complete unanimity in the black community. She wants to force blacks in the country to march in lockstep, and if they don't do it, they're going to be accused of being honorary whites or blacks marching around in whiteface.